Good morning, friends, and welcome. Today's talk is on the Kabbalah, this being the last week of the quarter. Next week's talk, April 1st, is on Zoroastrian cosmogenesis. We're going to have a brief reference to the Declaration of the United Lodge of Theosophists, which is about 5 paragraphs in the bulletin. Those who wish to have one can contact us at ULTDC, www.ultdc.org. We find the words here in the Declaration, dissemination of the fundamental principles of theosophy are too absorbing and too lofty to leave it the time or inclination to take part in side issues. Now, what do those words mean anyway? They're full of meaning, really. We find here in the Secret Doctrine words to the effect that that light which burns inside thee, dost thou feel it different in any wise from the light that shines in thy brother man? It goes on to say, it is in no way different, though the prisoner is held in bondage by karma, and through its outer garments though its outer garments delude the ignorant into saying, thy soul and my soul. It's easy to see the too absorbing and too lofty to take time and inclination and part in side issues. All we have to do is look around us. We see each other, for the most part, as our personalities, etc. We rarely see each other, most of us don't anyway, as souls coming from the same source. And that is the fundamental of theosophy, to get us to thinking back in those terms. Theosophy is for all. It is not just for certain groups, because we all spring from the same root. If we think of ourselves as sort of the light coming out of a pyramid prism, that light that goes in, that white light, is the same. But if all of us, we can think of all of us as a different color of a rainbow coming out of it within our personalities, because we are all pilgrims on this journey back to our source, and we're all different, but we're all the same as well. So that's the essence of the meaning of this particular phrase in the Declaration. We're going to have a reading from the Bhagavad Gita, and that is from chapter 4, where we find Krishna speaking about the devotion through spiritual knowledge. He says, this exhaustless doctrine of yoga I formerly taught to Vivaswat. And Vivaswat is the sun, first manifestation of divine wisdom at the beginning of evolution. Vivaswat communicated it to Manu. And Manu is the generic title for the reigning spirit of the sensuous universe, the present one being Vivaswat Manu. And Manu made it known unto Ikshwaku, the founder of the Indian Solar dynasty, and being thus transmitted from one unto another, it was studied by the Rajarshis, or the royal sages, until at length, in the course of time, the mighty art was lost. O harasser of thy foes, it is even the same exhaustless, secret, eternal doctrine I have this day communicated unto thee, because thou art my devotee and my friend. Arjuna says, well, seeing that thy birth is posterior to thy life of Ikshwaku, how am I to understand that thou wert in the beginning the teacher of this doctrine? Krishna responds, both I and thou have passed through many births. O harasser of thy foes. Mine are known unto me, but thou knowest not of thine. Even though myself unborn of changeless essence, and the Lord of all existence, yet in presiding over nature, which is mine, I am born but through my own Maya, which is illusion. The mystic power of self-ideation, the eternal thought in the eternal mind. I produce myself among creatures, O son of Brata, whenever there is a decline of virtue and an insurrection of vice and injustice in the world. And thus I incarnate from age to age for the preservation of the just, the destruction of the wicked, and the establishment of righteousness. Whoever, O Arjuna, knoweth my divine birth and actions to be even so, doth not, upon quitting his mortal frame, enter into another, for he entereth into me. Many who were free from craving, fear, and anger, filled with my spirit, and who depended upon me, having been purified by the ascetic fire of knowledge, having entered into my being, in whatever way men approach me, in that way do I assist them. But whatever the path taken by mankind, that path is mine, O son of Britha. And now for today's talk.